watch, and just a lot of good things in the game, and just really, as I said the other night, really proud of our team and staff for just how they prepared and really just set the tone right out of the gate against a really good football team. Team I got a ton of respect for in App State, but just a lot of positives, but still plenty of things that we can do to grow our team. Defensively, the best part was we played a lot of guys, and that will be really good for our development. It's you don't often get the opportunity to play that many guys early in the season the way we were able to. We weren't able to play a lot of guys against Georgia, so it really worked out great. And some guys got exposed, and some guys showed they were kind of ready for the show. So, but that's a great opportunity for us to teach and again develop the team. We played really good pass defense, 42% completion, 31% on third down, and created a couple turnovers. Had a bunch of PBUs. Got a chance to see a lot of young guys. Good to see Sammy Brown out there flying around. Making some tackles. AV led us in PBU. Steph Allen was one of our players of the game and really played well. So just a lot of positives, but biggest thing defensively is they don't change the standard when you sub. And statistically there were some things that we'd like to do better, but the guys got to go play, and they've got to learn from some mistakes and clean up some of the things. But it'll be a great opportunity this week to teach off of that. And then offensively, it was just one of the best games I've ever been a part of. Honestly, I've never been a part of a game 8 consecutive touchdowns, so that was pretty amazing. Just most yards ever and a half, most points, and first time since 12 to have a 300-yard passer, 100-yard rusher, and 200-yard receiver. So a lot of great things, a bunch of big plays. I think we had 13 different guys that had a big play. So just a really explosive day and running and passing. 712 yards of offense, and just no sacks. That's 2 games in a row we've given up no sacks with the offensive line. So I'm just really proud of those guys. No offensive turnovers. 50% on third down and 100% in the red zone. But just really pleased with how we spread the ball around and all the guys that got involved. And then Klubnik was elite. That was elite quarterback play. And, he did some, it's been 25 years in college football since there's been a quarterback have that type of game. And with 5 touchdown passes, 2 rushing touchdowns, and at least 90% completion percentage. So that's pretty rare right there. And just, I think these guys, can really gain a ton of confidence coming out of that game. And just from an execution standpoint, so it was awesome. And then again, Cade broke Taj Boyd's single game record for pass efficiency. He was ACC co-quarterback of the week, and first time since Deshaun in 2016, multiple touchdowns, rushing and passing, our quarterback. So just a great outing offensively, and again got to play a lot of people. It was great to get CB in there. I was pleased with some of the things he did. He had a couple miscues with had one fumble, and then he and the running back put a ball on the ground. But overall, a lot of good things on tape. Made another kick. We created a turnover in kickoff coverage. Antonio obviously had the one punt return fumble, but we had a couple of nice returns as well. So there's a lot that we can build on, and a great win for us as we get ready to head into conference play. So good momentum, good confidence. Unfortunately, we had a couple guys hurt that'll be out for the year, and you just hate it for these guys because they put so much into it. But those of us that have played the game, that's part of it too. And Kobe McLeod, he's going to be done for the year. He's going to have surgery on his knee, and then Caleb Nix is going to be out for the year. So Kobe, a very important player for us, and then Caleb, a starter on all of our special teams, and and a backup safety guy for us. But just two great kids, and you just hate it for those guys. So some other guys will have to step up in those roles, but both of them will be out with knee injury. But other than that, we're in pretty good shape, and open date will be very important for us to continue to build momentum, to continue to build our team. And this tape in particular, comes at a great time again because you got to play so many guys. So we've got an extra week to coach some of these guys that we need to develop the depth with.
Dabo, Larry here. I'm assuming Peter Woods' injury is minor.
Yeah, he'll be day to day.
Coach, it's Trevor. I think you said the other night that Tyler Brown rolled his ankle. Is he okay?
He'll be day to day.
Okay. Coach, you Trevor still. You love to say that it's never as good as you think and never as bad as you think when you watch the tape. But when you watch that first half, was that about as good as you thought it was?
Yeah, you must be reading my notes. That's exactly what I told our staff was, it's never as good as you think, and it's never as bad as you think, except for the first half of that tape. It was as good as you think. It was amazing. It really was. I mean, just incredible. Physical up front. Again, elite quarterback play, throwing and catching at an incredibly high level, and so many guys involved. I mean, again, just 13 different guys with a big play, a catch of 16 yards or more, a rush of 12 or more, or a touchdown. So just it was and no sacks, just really, really clean that first half. I mean, Cade really only had one bad throw, and that was, we were first and goal, and he just took a kind of a win route shot over to Antonio. Just that was kind of the only throw he really was off on. Outside of that, I mean, he was just it was fun to watch, and even more fun to grade, and just fun, and then fun to see them having some fun, and for them to see it, to just feel it, and then for the whole team, momentum is a powerful thing, and it's contagious, and confidence is contagious. And I saw a team really gain some confidence and some momentum the other night. So now you got to take that to practice, and you got to show up to practice every single day with that same mindset. So when you get to the game, you don't have to do anything any different.
I was actually going to ask you, since you mentioned that throw to Antonio that drew a PI, but what I was impressed with, the very next play, Cade came right back to him and threw a laser. I mean, to see him, have that short memory and that confidence to, go right back to it, I thought was a good sign.
Yeah, not only did he make that throw the next play, but he checked to it. That was not a called route. He checked that route, and two guys making a play was awesome. He was a little late on the flea flicker. I mean, he just was needed to get it going quicker. But that would have been a touchdown. But yeah, right back the next play, and literally tagged the route that he wanted, and Antonio did a great job of executing and a heck of a throw.
Hey Dabo, it's Pete at AP. With Kobe out for the year, who kind of steps up into that main backup role at linebacker?
Yeah, it'd be Sammy and D and Jamal. Those three guys. All of them played a lot the other night, so again, that's a really good thing that they all got that amount of experience. So those three guys, will step up and fill the void. And then we got Drew Woodaz and C.J. Cooper Taylor that we're hoping to hold this year, but we'll have to see how it goes. But hopefully those three guys can step up and fill that void.
And will Kobe, it's Pete again, will Kobe have surgery soon, or does his knee need to calm down a little bit before he can schedule that?
I think it'll be relatively soon, but I don't have the exact date. When that'll be. Yeah.
Coach, it's Trevor again. I guess Venables will miss the first half because of the targeting call the other night. But on the plus side, I guess it must have been good to see Ricardo come in, take advantage of that opportunity, come up with the pick.
Yeah, Tyler played well. I was pleased with him. Obviously, that was a tough play, but so he'll be out the first half. And then Ricardo, he got better as the game went. He was one of those guys that we were, thumb up by his name. I mean, it wasn't too big for him. His first time to play. And again, he kind of settled in. He throws his body around. He's very physical. He's got a ton of energy. And that was a heck of a play. And really, the credit's got to go to Ronan and Armand Mason because they really, forced the errant throw. And then Ricardo went and got it. So just a combination of all those guys getting that done. It was good to see. And it was our first, turnover in the red zone. So I was really pleased with that.
Hey, Dabo, it's Chapel with the State. Looking back at the film, what impressed you most about Garrett Riley and just how he called that game on Saturday night?
Just got everybody involved early and, just got rhythm. I mean, that's what happens when you can get in rhythm and you start putting some first downs together and you're making the routine plays. It makes it a lot easier to really dial it up. So it was just a good 4-quarter game. Especially the first half. But even when we subbed a lot of guys, we still did, a lot of good things and got a bunch of guys. We played 3 centers. I think that was really good. Harris Sewell was never snapped in a game. And his first college snap was, on the -1 yard line coming out. So, and man, Jay Haynes hit that thing and came out of there. So there were a lot of positives, but playing all 3 centers, getting Chappie in there. All those guys did a good job. We don't have Trent back just yet, so he's close. That was another positive. But the whole staff did a great job of picking these guys up after a tough opener and really just instilling the confidence. And I think again when you watch the tape from the first game, there was a lot of good things, and the guys really, I think they could see what they could do. But they also saw the importance of details and fundamentals and executing with precision, and that's what they did the other night. And again, once they got that momentum going and once they created the rhythm, it didn't matter what we played, what we called, those guys were executing at a high level.
And with Peter, I know you said you were going to send in the tape of that play to the ACC. Have you heard back from them yet? And in a situation like that, what happens if they kind of confirm what you see? Is it just kind of an acknowledgement going forward, or can anything happen from that besides just, okay, what your reading was correct on this? We send that in and we'll get confirmation. We usually get that tonight or in the morning when we send stuff. We do that every week, but no, it's nothing more than we blew it, or we don't agree with you. You just get a confirmation that hey, we weren't right and we'll try to get better, or no, we agree with the call that was made. So that's every week thing that happens, and it's it's good. It creates accountability. That our Al Riveron, the head of officials, for us, he tries to hold everyone accountable for their performance. I mean, at the end of the day, our refs are people, so they're not going to be perfect. We're not perfect, but you try to create accountability, and they try to get better every week. So that's all you can do is turn it in and hopefully learn from it. And if they disagree with you, then you have to adjust on this side.
Hey, Coach, it's David. Obviously, you'll never fuss about an open date, but after a performance like that, would you kind of rather keep playing? And then second part of that would be, what does your schedule look like this week? In terms of preparing for NC State or letting guys have time off.
Yeah, I don't ever complain with an open date. These guys work really hard. They've been going since July. We started camp, so we got a couple guys that I think it would be good for them to have a little extra time. That's going to be a positive. But at the end of the day, you keep momentum by going to practice tonight, and when you step on the field and you're doing your drill work, and you're doing your fundamental work, and you're doing your teamwork, you create game rep mentality, and that's how you keep your momentum. And this is not an off week for us. This is a work week. We got a lot of work to get done. We'll do a lot of crossover work this week.
for each other to help us get better. Offense, defense, working, studying each other, and also studying the opponent. That's something that we do, to help maximize, our staff and the abilities of our staff and the expertise of our staff. So that'll be something we've done. You do have a little extra time to maybe study some other people. But, man, we got 4 good work days coming up today through Thursday. We'll let them go, Thursday night, and they'll be off Friday, Saturday. Sunday they'll get back and get back into their study hall and all that stuff. And game week, it happens fast. So, now it's time for ACC play. And so this is a big week for us to again, learn from these first 2 games, coach a lot of these guys that got to play for the first time, and make a few adjustments. Again, study ourselves internally, and then put a game plan together and get ready to go start conference play.
Dabo, it's Pete at AP again. I think your guy Fickle up at Wisconsin was talking about targeting, and maybe that he wasn't in favor of automatic ejections for that, and maybe the penalty should be relooked at and how it's adjudicated. I mean, I know you're teaching guys not to target, but how have you seen this rule as it's unfolded the last 6 or 7 years?
Yeah, I mean, I hate seeing guys get thrown out. I mean, I really do. I just think that, it used to you were like escorted with,
right.
Police escort out of the stadium. We got out of that. Now you can at least get to stay on the sideline. But, I think that I've just always said, you know it when you see it, right? You know it when you don't. And, there's a lot of these that are kind of bang, bang. I mean, it's football, and you certainly want to keep the head out of it, and we all work hard to coach that. But sometimes there's just bang, bang plays, or there's just high-effort plays that, there's no bad intent. So, you hate to see guys not get a chance to play. But, I mean, I understand the purpose of it and the intent of what they're trying to do, and I think that it's become less and less over the years.
Yeah.
But I still wish that there was another way, than to have to sit out another game and all that stuff.
Thanks.
Coach, on that topic, it's Trevor again. Would you like to see more consequences for, a cut block that, like the kind on Peter Woods that's coming in from the side, outside the 10 or 2? I mean, that sort of thing can obviously end a player's season or, even his career, even though it's not a head or neck, type of thing.
Yeah, I think it's the same thing. I mean, listen, I don't think anybody had any bad intent, and because there is a little bit of gray area. If a defensive end is a chaser, sometimes on these plays, if he's chasing the back and he's I call it a chaser technique, and you got a tight end coming across the formation, you can cut in that situation. And as long as you're 10-2, but if it's a box technique by DN and the guy's staying square, then all you can do is kick out. You've got to stay up. You can't cut. But sometimes it's a gray area for that guy, that tight end or whoever it is that's coming across. So, I mean, it's a part of the game, and it's, I think you got to call it forcefully. It's a call that I think if you don't miss it, it'll clean it up. It's one of those things that, I think we can definitely do a better job of making the call. I mean, just like they called it on us in the Georgia game, and it was the right call. It was the right call based on the rule, and coming across, it was the right call. So it's a costly penalty. So I think that, it's just one of those that, we just got to do a good job of emphasizing it, not missing it, and then, teaching it properly. So I don't think there was any bad intent or anything like that. I just think sometimes those guys in the heat of the moment, they think he's 10-2, but he's really not. And, so definitely some teaching on both sides.
Dabo, Larry again. We know that, you mentioned that Cade's spectacular night was big for his confidence. But what about the confidence of everyone in him to see him do that under the lights?
Oh, it's huge. I mean, like I said, confidence is contagious. I mean, it really is. And it just, I mean, we've had a lot of good players around here, but we ain't had nobody do that. Nobody. And so that's what he's capable of doing. And, to see the guys, again, just making right decisions, making routine plays. And the next thing you know, man, you're making great plays. It feeds into your defense, your special teams, everything. Your play calling, it all goes together. And like I said, in that first game, man, there were a lot of good things on tape when I was grading it on the way back. And there were a lot of things from Cade that I was like, you know what, man, and what we've seen in camp. So it was good to see him go do it on the field. And again, App State's a good program. They're the 6th winningest team in the country since 2015. We're 2 and they're 6. This is a good program. I mean, this is a good football team, but we just overwhelmed them in the first half. And credit goes to these players, man. But starting with that offensive line, and then Cade, just his decision making, his accuracy, and then all these guys, man, making plays. It was awesome to see.
Is it understated maybe to say that the Cade, who was fantastic, that it helps him when he knows his offensive line is going to protect him and he knows he's got playmakers out there that, maybe that was missing last year, and that's such a huge part of it.
Oh, there's no question. I mean, we're better around him for sure. And then he's better, I mean, he's coming off a first-year starter. And we've played 2 good teams. We've played Georgia and App, and we've yet to give up a sack with our offensive line. I mean, those guys are doing a great job for him. And so that's a real positive, and you got a salty bunch. We didn't play Marcus Tate a single snap. And it just shows the type of depth that we have. I mean, Sadler in there, Harris, those guys in there just going in and playing. We played Sadler at guard. We played him at right tackle. We played 3 centers. We got a big Elijah in the game, Dietrich in the game. So it was just good to get a bunch of guys in there. Man, Walker Parks has been outstanding. And, I mean, the MVP after 2 games is Ryan Linthicke that, everybody had written off. And man, that kid has done a heck of a job these past 2 games. I'm really, really proud of him. And that just, he's a guy that's been here, and he's been developing, he's been patient behind Putnam, and man, he has seized the moment and has really come through for us. I mean, he has really played well. He's an incredibly smart kid, making the right calls and decisions up front. So it's been really good, and there's no question that's created, I think, a lot of just confidence within Cade's game. And then, I mean, Maffa and those tight ends, what all those tight ends are doing, Brenny, all those receivers. I mean, we had a lot of guys. Obviously, Wesco, set the tone out of the gate. But, man, it was great to see Cole come back and have a great game. Adam made some plays. Stellato had a 24-yard play. Unfortunately, Tyler kind of rolled his ankle, was limited. TJ Moore, all those guys. Josh Sapp had a big play. All of our backs ran hard, and so the combination. We really like our roster. We think we got a chance to be a really good football team. We just got to keep going, one day at a time, one game at a time. And now we got to create consistency in our performance. You're not going to always go out there and have. I mean, again, once in my life, have I been a part of 8 touchdowns in a row. It may never happen again, but we've got to create consistency in our performance. And so that's a practice. That's your mindset. That's meetings. That's, again, going to practice tonight. And you're not worried about losing momentum. You don't lose momentum when you show up and work the right way every single day. It's just another day. It's what you do. And again, then when you get to game day, you don't have to do anything different. It's what you've been doing. And that's a mindset that I think this team has really embraced, and especially with our quarterback. Cade he's really brought that every single day, and just really happy for him and all those guys. They've worked really, really hard, and I'm happy for our defensive guys too, because for them to be able to have some fun and see some explosiveness, back in our offense, that bodes well for us the rest
Hey, Dabo, Chapel again. What do you think of how Shelton Lewis held up? I know you guys held him for Georgia, even though he's ready to go. How do you think you played at Penn State?
It's good. It's good. A couple of little plays that he needs to clean up, but it was good to get him out there, get him rolling. But did a good job. He'll be a key guy for us all year long.
And there were a few fourth downs that you guys went for in the second half with the second and third teamers. And what was the reasoning there?
Yeah, I think I saw your question. You were asking the coach over there, if he was mad at us, trying to create some kind of story, which is ridiculous. We're just letting guys play, man. We're letting Trent Pierman play. We took all of our guys out in the first half. We're just trying to let them play. And we're on the other side of the 50, and we want to let them young linemen play, let them young quarterbacks play, and all that type of stuff. So I didn't think that was a really good question. There was no issue from the coach. He's a great guy. We're friends. But, that's how you framed it.
Yeah, fair enough. Last one from me. What
You didn't ask me that question until now, but it's all right.
Last one for me. Sorry. What do you think of Hanna in his first game as a defensive back, getting a bunch of snaps in that position?
I love Ronan. I think we got him in the right spot. A few mistakes. Again, we didn't move him until right at the end of camp, so it's a accelerated learning curve for him. But every time he's on the field, you notice him. He just flies around. I mean, he plays really, really fast and really, really physical. So just a great addition to that side of the ball, and a guy that I think has a bright future over there. So again, just still some details that he's got to learn from, but it was a great opportunity for him to get out there and be able to play. I mean, he shows up everywhere. Special teams, he made a couple big tackles. He was a part of the interception. He and Armand pressuring the reverse guy that was throwing the pass. So just a guy that we're excited about. And again, we really feel like we got him in the right spot. Got a bright future.
Dabo, Pete, one more time. I don't know what the timetable is, but about DeAndre's funeral, will there be any time this week, if it's held, to be up there for that?
I have not gotten the details as of right now. I really haven't, but a lot of it's kind of, I'm a numbers guy, and I always think God sometimes, uses things to give us a little comfort. The game was 66-20,
Right.
and 6 plus 6 plus 2 plus 0 is 14, and 66 plus 20 is 86, and 8 plus 6 is 14, and the first pass of the game was number 2 to number 12, and that's 14. And I was sending all that to his dad, just trying to picking him up, and then he's like, well, dadgum, and he goes, you're not gonna believe our address is 6404 whatever, but 6 plus 4 plus 4 is 14. And when we got to the Tiger Walk, the sun was just beaming down like right through the clouds, and it was just kind of, sometimes I think God has a way of just letting us all know that he's there, he cares, and everything's going to be okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
But I don't have any details yet.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
All right.
Thanks, Coach.